All right, so I'm gonna do a quick review of the Nike Vomero 16. All right, so starting with the upper. The upper is just a pretty standard mesh. It's really nice, feels pretty lightweight. Over the midfoot, there's a part that's kind of like fortified with these bands here. It's a little bit thicker of a material. And I think that holds down your foot really well. And then the heel and the heel cup area is very plush, very comfortable, really well designed. Tongue is really soft. Fit my foot really well. Yeah, I don't think there's any other comments to make. The pretty good, support at the heel with this heel counter back here. So I was really happy with the upper. Next is the midsole. So there are a few things I think going on with this shoe. There's standard kind of EVA foam, but then you see there's the ZoomX logo here, and then there's a Zoom Air logo in the forefoot. And I think I ran in one of the original Vomeros, and I remember that shoe feeling pretty good, pretty soft, at least to begin with. I remember those shoes, I remember thinking that they eventually packed out. This is probably the Vomero 4 or 5, I'm guessing. But with these shoes, the cushioning is amazing. I mean, I put over 600 miles in these shoes, could still put in more. And I think for me, some of the key highlights were the zoom unit in the forefoot is fantastic. I mean, you can really feel it. And that's because it sits right on top of the foam. And I'll show you that in a second. The other thing too is the ZoomX foam I'm a huge fan of. I was pretty confused because this looked like regular kind of EVA foam, and I have the Vaporfly Next Percents, and so I know what the ZoomX foam should look like. So I ended up cutting the shoe open. So here's like the heel area, just to kind of explore what was going on. And so if you look, you can see the different types of foam. So there's EVA on the sides, but there's actually the ZoomX foam, the different color foam, that ZoomX foam right there, going down the middle of the foot. And that kind of helps explains why I think the feel of the shoe is so nice underfoot. So if you keep going to the forefoot, I mean, you can still see where the EVA foam and the ZoomX foam, that line, you can see where that is, in respect to the outside of the shoe. But then I was just astounded by how big that zoom unit is, and it sits right underfoot too. So this is the zoom unit, and it's, like I said, it's massive. You can feel it when you're walking, running. It feels so good to run on. And then there's the ZoomX foam still underneath it. So that setup is so nice. Here's another look at, I took out the zoom unit from this side, and this is kind of what it looked like. But yeah, so this thing is inflated, sits right underfoot, and again, just feels fantastic. So like this cushioning setup, to me, the shoe's relatively light. I think around, yeah, I guess it's 10.9 ounces in a size 10. And yeah, the setup is awesome. Just, you could pretty much do anything you wanted in this shoe. You can do long runs. You could do a tempo in this shoe. I mean, it's really an awesome shoe. But anyway, getting back to everything else. So, the sole is, just, I guess, this high abrasion rubber covering the whole sole, and the grip is perfect. The feel is fantastic. And I found it to be really durable. I mean, you can see there's quite a bit of wear on those kind of nubs or traction pods or whatever on the toe. But again, that's probably 650 miles or so. And there's no real damage, so it could have gone further. Then if you look at the heel, it's in great shape. So yeah, the rubber did its job. Great traction, great protection. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about the sole of the shoe. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the shoe. I think I've gone through a few of these now, and I feel like I keep saying this, but this is, I think, my favorite shoe I've ever run in. Just as a daily trainer, it's perfect. I've done 400 repeats on the track as well. Done some fartleks in these, and it's cushiony yet responsive underfoot, lightweight, never any pinch points, never any, rubbing or anything that's going to irritate my foot. I mean, it's just fantastic. I guess I have a narrow foot, and Nike makes narrow shoes, so that works out well for me. And this colorway too is the best. When you get it new, it's just white with a black swoosh. I just think it's super clean. I guess the shoe retails at $150. At this point, they're probably bringing out the 17 pretty soon, so you can find them cheaper online. But I think $150 is, expensive price. But for this shoe, as good as it is and as many miles as I got, I think it's justified. Especially if you can get a lower price point on it too. I would say definitely go for it. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else really to say other than, kudos to Nike. I feel like these shoes have come such a long way over time, and I really hope they don't change it too much for the 17 because this shoe was fantastic, and I'll continue to look for this shoe in the 16s, if they change the 17 up too much. So, I don't know. I guess I'd give this thing a 9.75 out of 10. I don't even know what I would critique. I think to the extent that they're able to add a zoom unit under the heel too. Again, I don't know what goes behind the engineering of these, but I think that would feel really good. They do it in some of their basketball shoes, so I think that it's possible in the running shoes, but maybe it's not a natural fit for the running shoes to do that. But given how good the zoom unit felt in the toe, having one in the heel would be awesome too. But we'll see what they do in the future with this model. But in the meantime, this is just an awesome shoe. I'd recommend it to anyone. I guess it is a neutral shoe, so if you need stability, maybe not the best choice, but even then, I have a hard time thinking that anyone would take, serious issue with this shoe. So, yeah, great job to Nike, and I think that's it.